So we're using additive manufacturing and issuing these temporary use parts to kind of augment the supply chain. I'm Ryan Ash. I'm the Section Chief for Advanced Manufacturing and Predictive Logistics with TACOM.
Hi, and I'm Michael Hansen, the Advanced Manufacturing Lead for TACOM. For me, I like coming to RAPID to be able to walk around, see what's new on the floor. I've been in the industry a while, and so it's nice to see newer startups and new technology or new spins on different technologies. So to answer your question directly, not sure yet. Want to walk the floor and see what I see.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Mike hit the nail on the head. Seeing those maybe smaller technologies, the things that are just starting to come out that can fit a niche for us. You know, there's a lot of, you can see Stratasys, you can see all the big companies at most of the shows, but coming into RAPID and really being able to talk to those smaller companies, the ones that are kind of getting that start, and how that can fit into what we're looking to do in the Army is important to us. So one of the biggest projects that we're working on right now is battle damage repair and fabrication, BDRF. It's a temporary use part effort that we have going on with the field. So the units will have their systems go down, and it might be for one part, it might be for five. What we're seeing is in the actual supply chain, there's not really a responsiveness always to like these onesies and twosies. So we're using additive manufacturing and issuing these temporary use parts to kind of augment the supply chain, where we're going in and seeing a little bit of an uptick in readiness because we're able to get them this temporary use part, and then when the final use part actually makes its way there, they take the temporary use part off and put the final use part on, but they get that usable life in between where they wouldn't have had a part and they would have had a system that was down. So that's kind of the biggest thing that we're working on right now.
So I'll dovetail on the last answer too from what Ryan touched on with the type of program. So the types of parts we're getting after have to do with all the different technology, and whether it's the big stuff like laser powder bed fusion or FDM. So we really cover all of the different technologies depending on the use case that we're trying to fill. So that's one of the biggest things we're trying to do. And then walking the floor, we look to see even if it's a new vendor that has a new technology, we can apply and integrate and upgrade and add additional capability. So the biggest thing, I mean, we do ground vehicles, so it's big, heavy metal parts, so that lends itself to certain technologies that are out there. There's not a lot of polymer or plastic parts on tactical wheeled vehicles. So that kind of drives the nature of what we're after, but there are applications like radio buttons and other things that get smashed by warfighters and need to be replaced. So there's an application where we might use a polymer to fix something like that.
Yeah, so that's a great question. So one of the efforts that we have working right now is a capability at echelon effort, where we're actually exploring different capabilities that we could employ further forward. And what makes sense to put like up with the soldier, what makes sense to go like a level back, and then you get to the highest stratosphere, which is us back here in the organic industrial base, where we have a lot of the more robust capabilities. But that is one of the things that we always look for in the shows is who's got something that we could do, something ruggedized, something that we could, I mean, they like to say this capability on the move. I mean, we know that we're not talking like putting something in the pickup bed and just printing while people are driving.
Printer on my back.
Yeah, right, but to that effect, like we're looking for folks and companies that are kind of starting to focus a little bit more on what could we employ forward if we've got 12 hours, we need to print a couple of parts, and then in that 12 hours, we have to set up the machine, get the print ready, do it, and then get everything packed up and we're out. So, we kind of evaluate that type of stuff when we're at shows like this as well.
The answer is both, right? So I see new technologies still in a rapid development phase. I also see new spins on older technologies to integrate different pieces. And then I also see the stuff that's become more industrialized and hardened. So the answer is kind of like, it covers the spectrum.
It was little chameleon. So there's a little chameleon that sits on my desk, and he with the articulating arms and the little spikes and stuff like that. So that was one of the trinkets, stuff like that. But yes, I have.
I actually don't remember the first thing I 3D printed. I did field service for Stratasys for a long time ago through a reseller. I also worked for a metal powder bed OEM, so I've printed a lot of different things. It's hard to pick something out.